It's a new day, a new week, and for some of you, a new school year. Welcome, and thank you for starting it with CNN Student News. First up today, we're talking about the Middle Eastern nation of Syria. Its president, Bashar al-Assad, says the Middle East will explode if Syria is attacked. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry says samples from inside Syria tested positive for signatures of sarin gas. That's a chemical weapon. The U.S. has considered taking action against Syria and moved warships into the area near the country. Congress has the power to declare war, but the president can order a military strike. Jim Acosta reports on what's going on.
In a city that feasts on political theater, it was high drama just past high noon, as President Obama told the world he had pulled back from the brink of a military strike against Syria.
I will seek authorization for the use of force from the American people's representatives in Congress.
Aides to the president say Mr. Obama decided to go in a different direction at almost the last minute. At approximately 6 p.m. Friday, the president made the stunning change in plans to seek congressional authorization.
The question is, what are we collectively, what are we in the world going to do about it?
Just hours before the president's abrupt move, Secretary Kerry had made a passionate case for urgent action. But aides say what Kerry and the rest of the president's team did not know is that Mr. Obama had been privately kicking around the idea of seeking approval from Congress for days. As Kerry was turning up the heat, the president seemed to be turning it down.
I am very clear that the world generally is war weary. Certainly the United States it has gone through over a decade of war. The American people understandably want us to be focused on the business of rebuilding our economy here and putting people back to work. And I assure you, nobody ends up being more war-weary than me.
The debate that counts is the one to come in Congress, where lawmakers from both parties still have questions.
In my view, U.S. military force is justified only to protect the vital national security interest of the United States. And to date, the administration has not focused on those interests.
I don't see where America is threatened. I don't see where our national security is threatened. And perhaps between now and the time we get back on September the 9th, the president will have information that would allow the Congress to effectively see where this danger is.
Administration officials say the president still reserves the right to take military action. As one top official put it, the commander-in-chief still has the authority to act, even if Congress says no.
Officials in Japan report a jump in radiation levels at the Fukushima nuclear power plant. It had a meltdown after an earthquake and tsunami struck in 2011. These measurements were taken in pipes and containers holding contaminated water. Radiation is the flow of atomic particles and waves. It's measured in a unit called millisieverts. In an industrialized nation like the U.S. or Japan, people are naturally exposed to about 3 millisieverts per year. The highest reading at one of these tanks, 1,800 millisieverts per hour. High doses of radiation can lead to a wide array of health problems. They can potentially be deadly. The company that owns the Fukushima plant says it's confident that it can keep workers safe while they deal with the problem. Radiation can also spread. This animation shows how radiation from Fukushima makes its way across the Pacific Ocean. Experts say the contamination is reduced, though, as it spreads out across the water. The first time Diana Nyad tried to swim from Cuba to Florida, she had to stop because of rough waters. That was in 1978 when she was 29 years old. On Saturday, the 64-year-old jumped into the water for her 5th attempt. On past swims, Nyad ran into problems with jellyfish. Severe stings cut her 3rd and 4th attempts short. This time, Nyad wore a special suit and mask for protection. The path from Havana to Key West was around 100 miles. It was estimated that Nyad would take about 80 hours to make it. She did it in 53, walking onto the beach Monday afternoon. Diana Nyad is the first person ever to swim from Cuba to Florida without a protective shark cage.
All those life lessons that came up during this swim, you can dream at any age. You should dream big. The bigger you dream, it doesn't matter if you fail. I don't want to be timid. I don't want to go home and say, well, I tried that Cuba thing so many times, but, you know, it was just too tough for me. I want to be in the ring, fail or not fail, and be bold and go for it.
Got a new segment this year. It's the CNN Student News Roll Call. It's how schools can get mentioned on our show. Now, there are two ways for you to make the request. One, if you're on social media, go to facebook.com/CNN Student News or tweet us at CNN Student News. Please include your school name, mascot, city, and state. The second way, you can send us an email from our website, that's cnnstudentnews.com, also including your school name, mascot, city, and state. And please just let us know you'd like to be part of the CNN Student News roll call. One big rule here. You have to either be a teacher or a student who's at least 13 to request a mention. We hope to hear your school on the CNN Student News roll call. So that's how you do it. So who made the roll call today? We're going to our map. Starting out west in Hemet, California with the Bulldogs from Hemet High School. Next up, show me the Show Me State and show me Raytown, Missouri, home of the Raytown Blue Jays. And the Pilots from Fulton County High in Hickman, Kentucky anchor today's CNN Student News roll call.
See if you can ID me. I'm the world's largest island. Geographically, I'm considered to be in North America, but I'm officially part of the Kingdom of Denmark. More than 80% of my lands are covered in ice. I'm Greenland, and the ice on my surface, on average, is 5,000 feet thick.
So it's not so green of a land, but after using radar to virtually peel back Greenland's ice sheet, British and American scientists say they've found a frozen secret. A mega canyon, a giant gouge through Greenland's surface that's 50% longer than Arizona's Grand Canyon, though not as deep overall. It runs from the middle of the country to its northern shore in the Arctic Ocean. It was detected by aircraft because satellites are too far up to see through Greenland's ice sheet. Scientists believe the canyon was carved by a river before ice covered it all up. Is this the greatest find ever? No. Is it a scientific research priority? Not really. But one researcher said it will help scientists understand how ice ebbs and flows across Greenland and other frozen environments. In the last year or so, you might have noticed a change in your school's cafeteria, what were supposed to be healthier lunches, part of the National School Lunch Program. Around 100,000 schools signed up, but now some are dropping out. Elizabeth Cohen examines why.
The nation's new healthier school lunches, championed by First Lady Michelle Obama, are packed with more fruits and vegetables, but they're getting a failing grade from some students. Several school districts are dropping out of the government-subsidized lunch program after just 1 year because they say students are rejecting the healthier fare.
The children didn't have options. They had to take what was there, and it's not what they wanted to eat. So frequently, they stopped buying lunch from us.
In upstate New York, the Voorheesville School District says it lost $30,000 in 3 months.
It began to be not cost-effective for us to continue in that program.
Across the nation, some kids say calorie limits are too harsh, many of them bringing food from home. High school students in Kansas made this YouTube video, complete with feigned fainting. Federal health officials say the vast majority of schools are meeting the new guidelines, which set limits on calories, salt, and fat. And in a statement, they said, "We also encourage the very few eligible school districts that have chosen not to participate in the program to take steps to ensure all children will still have access to healthy, affordable meals during the school day." The schools that have dropped out say their lunches are healthy.
We feel we have attracted back many students who had stopped buying lunches, and we have many students excited about eating at school.
Elizabeth Cohen, CNN reporting.
Think tree houses are just for kids? Think again. Think bicycles only work on the ground? Think again. Think ladders are the only way to get into a tree house? Think we've run that idea into the ground? Yep. But the idea in this YouTube video is going in the opposite direction. The inventor came up with a bicycle elevator because he said he was getting sick of going up and down the ladder. It takes him nearly 30 feet to get up to the treehouse, or depending on how you look at it, just 2 feet. Either way, the bicycle elevator idea is off the chain. It might seem lighthearted on the way up, but the ride back down brings some gravity to the situation. Of course, if you wanted to build one in the UK, you'd need to ask for a lift. I think it's a really good idea for us to stop before you tire of our puns, but we'll be back tomorrow with more CNN Student News.